It's just like a seed that's planted in the earth. If you had boxes of seeds and all the seeds basically look alike before you put them in the earth, you cannot look at the seed if they've been juggled around and mixed up and say this is an apple seed, this is that kind of seed, or that's that kind of seed, because all the seeds appear to be the same. It's only after being submerged in darkness and being nurtured that it comes out and you see what kind of seed has been hidden in the earth. And this is what's happening to human beings. We're seeing the seeds that Allah Almighty has planted in us. But there has to be some effort and some work in fighting the challenges. When we don't fight those challenges, we will never see who we are. And this is why Shaitan always wants us to be someone who is lazy and not working, because never will we know who we are. Prophet, peace be upon him, says everyone should have some kind of livelihood. And he said that we should plan our lives as if we're going to be here forever. But we should live it as if this is the last day. He's saying you got to put in some hard time, some working time. You got to plant them seeds deep, and you got to nurture those seeds. And you got to watch, and you got to look, and you got to take care and begin to nurture more and more and more that has to be. And Satan's job is to make sure that those seeds do not grow. And Allah said it, Almighty said it in the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Psalms, and the Quran. That when you remember me, I remember you. And how does Allah remember us? He reminds us of the essence in ourselves. He motivates that essence in ourselves.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar!
To give a power to our physical being. We think that we are seeing with our eyes. We think that we're hearing with our ears. We're speaking with our tongue. It's the brain function that's over all of the physical functions. The heartbeat, the blood, is sending the blood to this organ, to that organ. So it is very, very important what it is that we are concealing in ourselves, because it's going to be revealed in a minute. If you are harboring the wrong kinds of thoughts in yourself, and you are hiding those thoughts in yourselves, the feelings in yourself, would we have forgotten that we are not man-made, we are God-made, and that we planted ourselves, that part of us that's greater than everything else, will reveal it. Allah says, what's in you, I will reveal it. In other words, Allah in us, God in us will reveal what it is that you are trying to create other than God. The falsehood or the truth will come out. The seeds that you are planting will come out. They was asking Jesus Christ, where's the kingdom of heaven? He said the kingdom is within. As you begin to plant those seeds of righteousness by fighting everything that is not of that kingdom, then you reach the kingdom and all things will be given unto you. This is a forgiveness, and that the mercy of that forgiveness is that your sustenance begin to come to you. Like Moses was able to part that sea. That was his belief, and that he saw, and he over-understood, and he had certainty that that sea was going to part. With no doubt. If he would have doubted, it would not have been from God. The sea, the atoms, which is everything is energy, would not have obeyed him. See, everything is in submission. And everything moves according to God's will. was God's will through Moses that sea part. So all of the molecules which are energy, all the atoms which are energy, all the nucleuses in those atoms and in those molecules which are energy had to obey. Because everything, every molecule, every atom, everything, every element has a purpose. And it has been subjected to the servitude of human beings. Because the human beings are the representatives of their Creator. It's the same thing said in the Psalms, the Gospel of Jesus, the Psalms of David, the purified pages of Abraham, the Quran. It's the same word. It's the same message. But we don't get that. We don't get it. That's why we have our mental illnesses, our physical illnesses, our spiritual illnesses. And we accept Satan to threaten us with poverty and decadence. This is an internal job. So what happens internally manifests itself physically. We think we can hide. Nothing is hidden. The sun, even though the sun on a cloudy day may not see that sun, the sun still comes up. Whether you can see the sun or not, it's still there. And at some point in time, Allah Almighty is going to reveal that the sun is shining. Then one day we're going to wake up and it won't be cloudy. See, we have the illusion that whatever is in us is not going to come out. You think you can be decadent and live that way without it manifesting some way, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, socially, politically, ethically, morally. We were created to be holy people. There should be only holy people going into the temples or the churches and the synagogues and the mosques. And you shouldn't be going there to get something. You should be going there to give something. And then when everyone comes from what they have done, because what is hidden in the dark comes out in the light. We should have reached that from that darkness to the light where we were. What are we saying to ourselves when we are about ourselves? What is our self-talk? What do we say to ourselves about our Lord and ourselves? Or do we use all our time as he said, she said? That person ain't going to never do nothing, never be nothing. We're using because that's going to change our environment. That's going to bring down our brain waves. That's going to cause a depression on our physical bodies. We won't have any energy to our bodies. That oxygen won't flow to the body correctly because now the brain is not going to say oxygen go to this place and go to that place. And it's not going to say to the body, you must eat this or drink this or you may work your body to this. And the body has to be in obedience. But when the brain starts to shut down, the physical attributes start to shut down. And so we never get to that part of ourselves that is from God. You never say that there's no criterion for good or wrong or for bad or good. You have to be able to make a distinction between what is good and what is bad. Allah sent us the criterion through the Old Testament, New Testament, and the Quran. The Gospel, the Torah, and the Quran, that's the criterion. But then we have to internalize it. It has to be our internal thinking. We must think as the prophets thought in order to take the people where the prophets took the people. In order to do the things that they did, we have to do the things that they did. Why do we think we can do something different? You have to treat people good with kindness. You just can't abuse people and think that you're going to be happy. Because when you're abusing them, you're abusing yourself. When you give of yourself in charity, you are giving really to yourself. Because what goes around comes around, and what you reap, you do sow. This is a basic principle between all the holy books, all the holy people. They think their thinking is the same. Like attracts like.